welcome to Norwegian Modeling Bench and this third video in the build vlog of the CV-6. So this time I am working on the stern structure. There's a lot of PE going on here and also gluing down the decks. So I hope that you like the way I've done this one. I know there is a part where I show how I build some of this. I'm not speaking, so there is some piano music to listen to. So please tell me if this is something that you appreciate or not. I find it a bit difficult to talk all the time when working, and it kind of ruins at least my mindfulness when working on this, listening to my own voice. So please give me feedback on how the video is and if there are anything that you would like me to improve or look on. So enjoy. Okay, so then it's time to start on the stern deck. So I have the kit part, V2, which I need to remove some of the protruding parts on, back on here, which is also then outlined in the instructions over here. So the end goal for this part will be to get this structure in place. So adding the photo etch deck, the walls, and then this structure and platform going on the back side. So my game plan is to get the walls and the deck in place, get that painted up, and building the structure separately, painting that one up before attaching it to the deck. So first step now is then to remove the parts, the protruding parts, and then start on the photo etch parts. Yes. So dry fitting the wall on the stern. Of course, the deck itself also is just dry fitted. But what you can see here, and from the instructions, it looks like the wall should be in the in front in the gap. But that doesn't give you a good fit. And as you can see, there is also an issue here with the height on the sides. So what I'm thinking here is that I'm going to create a groove on the back side, so it has something to slip into, and then filling out these holes before moving on. So I will do this in two operations now. Painting up the parts separately, then gluing down the deck so that is perfectly in place, and then adding the wall. And I have made a groove on the backside, so you can see when I'm pushing down the deck, the gap is less. So I will make this a better fit and then go ahead in that direction. Then I've attached the details to the back wall and to the stern deck. Not much to say about the back wall. Same thing with the deck. Not that many things going on yet, but it's ready to be painted at least. So this is deck blue and this is 5 and navy blue. So the next thing is to work on the platform and the structure that is going on top here. Then I've started with the girders on the underside of the platform. So what I've done is, first and foremost, there is a, let's see, this piece that is going on the underside of the more solid PE, so P1 and P4. I've just used first E6000 on some points to position it, and then I've used thin CA on most places where you have the grid structure. Probably has a good name. I don't know it. Otherwise, do avoid the grooves that are in the P4. Otherwise, it will definitely be difficult to add the beams, or the beams on the underside. So otherwise, folding these girders, I have just used this tool from Tamiya, and also then applied some thin CA from the top to get a good fit. Otherwise, be very precise when adding these to the underside. Follow the grooves that are on the deck. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to position the two parts together. So then it is to add some of the brass parts that are sticking up, so the support for the deck, and then it is time to look at the structure. So this picture is probably the best one. So yeah, I will try to make that with some video, but it's not really much to say, so it will be silence from me, but hopefully you can see how I do it. Okay, so then the deck has been painted and it's ready to be glued into place. So that will be my first step in getting the structure in the stern ready. For the lighting in the hangar deck, I need some power, of course. So I have relocated my opening for the power, and I've now placed it in the bow instead because I have this room that I can use to do all the connections. So I will lead the cable through a hole in the bottom here in the bow. Then the stern deck has been glued on, and the same operation is going on forward with the bow section being glued in, and the same with the forward hangar deck. So using pressure and E6000 on these parts as well usually yields good results. Then the parts are painted and ready to be assembled. I just have to say that these beams here in the background were a nightmare to paint. So many angles, and it takes a bit of time. So otherwise, I think this requires some off-camera work. So I will show you the end result afterwards. Okay, so then the parts have been put together. I think it's looking rather nice. I've also gotten the back wall ready, which also needs to be installed onto the platform. Otherwise, if you try to install the back wall on the ship itself and then the platform, then it won't work because of the beam in the middle, which I've tested out, and this one will then in the middle here will come into conflict with the capstans on the deck. Yes, and I've also painted up the backside of this one. These blue ones will be on the outside, and this will be inside the hangar deck. So yeah, I guess then it's time to add more of the details on the platform. There are some reels and railings, and also a stair going down here, so that needs to be added. Yes. The railing and reels and stairs are now installed, so the next thing now is to get the back wall on as well before I can install it on the stern deck. On the platform grid on the stern, there is a boat that is going. I've looked at historical pictures and I can't really see it. It looks like the area was mostly used for storage, but I think I will add the boat anyway. But I will do that later, and then I will use the KA details for that boat and using the kit part. So that will be later on. Then the structure has just been installed, as you can see from some of the glue spots here. The fit is fairly good, I would say. There are some gaps here on below the pylons, and otherwise the fit on these sides on the back wall was good after making the groove on the back side, so I'm happy I did that. So now I am missing a couple of ladders on each side, the railings and the cleats. So that's up next. Yes, so then everything is in place. The railing and the ladders and the cleats and everything. So that concludes what I'm going to do this time on the stern. There are of course some other parts that needs to be added later on, but that will be when I'm working on the flight deck. So I hope that you liked this video and that you would like to continue following me on this build. So keep safe and bye for now.